Well, I'm going to go ahead and kind of get things started. My name is Lisa, and I'm with Crown Home Inspections. I'm with the marketing department, and I'm joined by Elizabeth, and I'm going to let her introduce herself a little bit further here in a minute when she gets started on it. But we want to thank you so much for joining us. This is the first time we've done a floral arranging class, and you might be thinking, why would my favorite home inspector be doing a floral arranging class? Does that make any sense? And you will notice that none of the inspectors are here. It's just the marketing business development team that's here today. But Elizabeth has special skills in this area. And when you have team members that know how to do things exceptionally well, then you ask them to teach others. So we're going to talk about that in a minute. Yeah. I think just a little bit about what we're going to do today. I'm going to kind of be your host, if you will, and I'm going to ask questions of Elizabeth as she walks us through the process. Please feel free to, if you want to unmute.
How do I turn these down?
Ask a question. Maybe it might be easiest to stay on mute throughout the process, but feel free to unmute and ask questions. Yeah. And we want to be kind of casual about all this, right?
Of course.
But like I said, I'm going to be asking questions because I'm fascinated in the process too. If you want to, you can write in the chat. Janet and John Clayson are here around the corner. You can't see them, but they're going to monitor the chat and kind of watch our timing and make sure that I don't get carried away doing crazy stuff. So feel free to write questions in there. We really want this to be productive and interesting and fun for you. Let's see, what other things do we want to talk about? Oh, if you're probably more adept at Zoom than I am, but if you've forgotten for a minute, you know that you can just put us on presentation mode. I think presenter mode, presentation, presenter mode, whatever. Make this shot bigger if you want. That's probably not the right way to describe it, but you know what you're doing. And let's see, was there anything else we want to do as kind of a preamble? Oh, like I said, we're going to talk probably 30 minutes. Elizabeth's actually going to make something for us so we can kind of see the whole process through. So I think with that, what? Oh, and also, oh my gosh, I almost forgot the best part.
Yeah.
Elizabeth is going to show you some of the other goodies that she's already made. And the one that we're making today, we're going to give away to one of you. So make sure that if your Zoom profile doesn't have your name on it, that you put that in the comments, or maybe it'd be best if you can't, just go ahead and put your name and your office in the comments right now so that we'll make sure that we get it to the right spot. At the end of our session today, we're going to write all the names on paper because I'm old fashioned and that's the way I know how to do it. And we'll put them in a bowl and we'll draw a name, and then I will make a special Santa trip, elf trip to go visit you and drop it off at your office. So I think that's it. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to back myself out of the screen because I don't want you to be distracted by my beauty. So we'll let it all be focused on Elizabeth here. So Elizabeth, tell us a little bit about why you are uniquely qualified to walk us through this floral design class. I'm going to let you take it away. I'm going to walk right out.
Strut your stuff.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hi, everybody. My name is Elizabeth. I'm not sure if I've met some of you, but majoritively not. I am newer to the Crown team. I joined, I believe, December of last year, and I am a Kansas City native. I grew up in Liberty, Missouri, just up north, lived up north the majority of my life. And my partner, John, and I actually just moved down here to Olathe two years ago. Before that, I did have a background in doing some real estate marketing work for agents up north, some real estate assisting here and there. And I was in the service industry for a while. I decided to try my hand at serving fine dining downtown at Power and Light. And through that, was able to work with some great event companies downtown. I had always looked up to Studio Dan Miner. If you've had a chance to look at their Instagram or social media presence, they're an amazing floral design studio down here in Kansas City. And so I really just wanted to try something different and try something new. So I enrolled through Johnson County Community College, and they actually have a floral design program there. It's broken up into 2 separate semesters. The first, you take a contemporary design class and traditional design, where you just really learn the basics of the fundamentals that go into floral design. And then the second semester, we took special events design, wedding design, as well as an entire class on house plans. So I actually learned how to propagate different plants and learn different growing mediums and different soil types. And so actually, if anybody has a question on any house plants that you may have, you can also enter them into the chat and I'll try my best to answer any and all. So with that.
Or feel free to always call us at our office with your inspection needs and to ask questions to houseplants. See, can't you see I'm going to be very valuable here?
Exactly. So that's kind of my background. And currently I'm in school for a bachelor's of science in environmental science. But this has just been an amazing passion project for me. And I really have just loved the entire process of learning how to design. And as many as you know, it's just such a relaxing and just fun experience to have. And so with that, I'm going to just move in and we'll start.
Perfect.
Okay, so the first thing that we're going to talk about is supplies and all of the supplies that really go into making designs. So I have a few different things here. I have a brick of floral foam. This is wet floral foam. So you can get this at any kind of craft store, at a Michael's. They do come in bricks like this. The name brand or the best in the biz is actually called Oasis, but otherwise it's just going to be called fresh or wet floral foam. So this is what we're going to use to actually put the designs or fit the flowers in to the foam to hold the mold. This has been around, I think, for about 50 years, but back in the day, Elizabethan times, they would use frogs. And I'm sure that, you know, if you have experience with floral designing, you may have seen these before. We have a caged one right here. So it'll look like that. And these are really great for woody stems. So if you have any branches, what you would do is fit it through the form here. And there are teeth on the bottom. I actually have another one, a more, if we can see that. And so there's very sharp teeth here. And what you would do is actually stick the woodier stem into the teeth and it will hold the form that way. When you're using frogs or anything like this, a supply that I like to use is floral gum. It comes in a little roll like this. And if you unroll it, you kind of wrap it around the frog and it's sticky so it will take hold in the container. So it's not going to fall over.
Ah, good.
So there's...
And can you get frogs at the same sort of places like Michael's or Hobby Lobby?
Actually, there's a tip. Frogs are somewhat expensive. I would say 20...
But reusable.
But reusable every single time. I actually found these frogs at an antique store.
Oh,
and so I found them for about $3 compared to brand new, which would be $25, I think. Okay. So that's
and how much is the Oasis foam?
I would say if this, I was able to get 2 bricks of the wet foam, I believe for $5 at Michael's.
So very affordable.
Very affordable.
By the time you cut it to fit your...
Definitely. And so a hint with the floral foam, if you use it for your designs, it is light. It does have air pockets within it. So when you go to soak the Oasis foam, you would just kind of fill up your sink with water and go ahead and drop it in. I wouldn't suggest, it will fill up over time, just like a sponge does. But if you push or force the foam into the water, air pockets will form and there will be some spots where no moisture is going to get in or the foam itself will start to disintegrate and break down within. So I would say less is more. Just go ahead and drop it in the water here. I have a pre-soaked brick that I took a little bit off of. So you'll see it here. You just drop it into the water. It will soak up and it will get about, I would say three times heavier.
Oh, okay.
So if you want to put that in water for about 10 minutes, it'll soak everything up and you'll be able to cut that to size.
Okay. So that's going to serve 2 purposes, right? To hold things steady and to provide water.
Exactly. Okay. And so also because the floral foam is so great, When your designs start to dry out, maybe within 48 hours, it really depends on what flowers you have in the arrangement. What you can do is take a cup of water and you can just add a little bit more water to the floral foam itself. Or if you have a base that would be able to be put into water, you can let it sit there and kind of soak. And so it should let it last a little bit longer.
Okay, excellent. All right, so we've got foam or a frog and putty. What else might we need as a supply?
Yes, so we have floral wire here. This is great if you're working with, when you're working with your mechanics, in order to make sure that that the brick or whatever medium you're using is not going to move around. You can attach this to the side of your container using the wire. You can also, if we have the brick here, and let's say that you're making a longer design, you can take the wire and actually fasten it across and hook it to the container so that it doesn't slide out at all.
So you're making like your own cage around.
Exactly.
Okay. I never thought to do that.
So this is super helpful. We also have some floral tape. If you just need a little bit of extra support there, a little bit of extra.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
All right. So, and none of those are very expensive, right?
No.
We're not talking about a big, huge investment to play with floral designs.
No,
okay.
No, not at all. I would say the wire and the tape, about $2 a piece, $3. So everything is affordable. We also have picks, hot glue guns. It's really, I think in floral design, you can take, or really just shop around your house and find any supplies or any decorations that you would like to put into the arrangement in your home. If you have picks, stick picks, and a hot glue gun, you can literally put anything into this design. Ornaments. I've seen people put pomegranates into their designs before, fake apples, fake fruit. So there's a variety of different things.
Okay.
So those are going to be our supplies that we are using today. And moving on, we're going to talk about containers. So some of the containers that we have are mugs. We have little Christmas mugs that Janet luckily donated to us. We found this little bucket. Where did we find this?
Walmart, 98 cents.
98 cents. And so it's going to be that little plaid, just super cute, very festive. We have some other mugs. I've made a design here that I put in a lower container. Looks like that. So
put it a little more. Can you see how beautiful that is? That's great. Can you tip it a little bit?
Oh yeah. So we have
gorgeous
this kind of horizontal design here. This is great for a runner or for a side table. So we have that.
Write that on the chat.
You like that one?
Yeah, that one's beautiful.
Okay, and then we also have this container. I actually grabbed from upstairs, and so it's just it's a nice little urn. Very, very light, very easy to use. You can really use anything around your house or any container that you want.
Yeah. So show them those red and blue mugs.
Yes.
We can talk about where we found those and what those were.
Definitely.
Kind of get those started. So these
are fully finished designs.
Yeah, well,
no, I'm kidding.
But these were $1 from the Dollar Tree store, and they're those soup mugs that you can warm up soup in. So they make a great little vessel for our arrangements.
I think so too, and especially for clients or quick gifts. I mean, everybody likes coffee mugs. Everybody likes a bigger mug. So I really like these just for a quick little idea or just a quick little arrangement to put onto a table.
Perfect. Okay.
Definitely. Okay, so let me see here. We do have that, but I'll probably just move on with the mugs since I have them. So what I ended up doing is I just wanted to show you a little bit of our bases for when we go to make the designs. So there are elements and then there are principles to design. And so if we're looking at the principles, this is going to be, balance. It's going to be proportion. When you go and you take deciding whatever vessel you're going to use, you want to make sure that the size, the scale, and the proportion is going to be balanced. So with this little mug here, or with any container, the rule of thumb traditionally is you want your arrangement to be about 1.5 times the height of your vase. So when you're going to make, let's say, for example, if we just have a vase here, if you go to make just a traditional arrangement, you're going to want to have the flowers come up at that 1.5 mark. So that's really
that probably explains why sometimes mine look a little weak, is that they're probably not tall enough, and then the vessel is overwhelming the flowers.
Right. Sometimes, yeah, sometimes it happens, and I have definitely been guilty of it. I have definitely made a smaller design and tried to put it on a larger table, and then it just kind of looks off.
Okay.
So just when you go to grab your vessel, just really picture where you're going to be putting it into your home, how big you really want to make it. And so because there are technical principles, there's no real rules in floral design. So it's really up to you, whatever you want to do with it. I went ahead and made these 2 little mugs just to show you how I fit the oasis into it. So when I go to design, I'm going to have the floral foam extend just a little bit out of the container, just so we can start to fill in on the sides. So you can see here, I went ahead and I just marked the top of the design where the top was going to be. And then on this, I went ahead and I just started to fill it in. When I begin designs, I traditionally like to use 1 or 2 types of greenery filler. You can even use 3, just to make a really nice little base for yourself in order to fit all of the flowers into. So
yeah,
beginning,
so tell us what
middle.
you're using for fillers on these.
Right, so we have, today we're doing a variety of evergreens. We have just the traditional pine. We have, what is the name? What is the name of this?
Pine needles? I don't know. You're the botanist person.
I had it up here.
They're not ponderosa pine, but those are pine cones. But anyway, I don't know if people can see people. Maybe.
What can I look for you? I am going to look at the menu for a moment. Thank you.
Okay. All right.
Okay, so I actually have a variety of clippings here. We went and scavenged.
Yeah.
Right?
Went on a scavenger hunt.
Right.
Yeah.
So we went ahead and we just took some clippings, larger clippings from some of the pine trees in our neighborhood here. We had a nice neighbor that was able to.
With permission.
Yes, I did get permission from my neighbor to go and take some pine clippings.
Is that protein as well?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, and so we went ahead and collected those. Around the house was.
Oh, okay, so.
I think someone may need to be muted. May need to check their
Cherise, please mute. Yo.
So greenery wise, we went ahead and took a scavenger hunt and just went around the neighborhood and were able to collect a lot of different clippings from a few different trees.
Could be holly.
Could be a holly tree. It could be a juniper tree, which I really like because of those blueberries. I think that those look really, really nice. So you're going to just get a variety of different clippings. Around the house, we went ahead and we just grabbed a few picks of these red berries, a few of these red sparkly picks, and a few other things. So we actually went to Michael's, and what I like to do in some designs to add a little bit more filler and a little bit more texture is to use a variety of fresh and store-bought greens. So we have these snow-tipped ones from Michael's, and a few other picks as well. So artificial greenery plus real greenery equals, I think, a more texturized
what are some of the other special? Then do you try to put like a focal point in it too, or?
Yes, yes, yes.
So you've got the base and the filler and then a focal point. Is there another thing that you make sure you're putting in your, well, fresh and fake, you said, a nice mix.
Yes, okay. A nice mix. And so when you have the greenery down, you're going to go ahead and collect anything else you really need. So we have a snowflake ornament here that is going to go into one design. We have an antler pick to go and make something a little bit more rustic, a little snowflake. So it's really whatever you want to put in there. We also went and bought a bouquet of fresh flowers from, where did we get these?
Trader Joe's. Trader
Joe's. And so believe for $12, $13. Yeah, we were able to get a full bouquet. So we actually have a hydrangea in here, some Canterbury bells, some button mums, cushion mums, carnations, a little bit of holly, and some lilies. As far as flowers go, there are going to be a few different types. Line flowers obviously have a certain form to them. So you're going to have the line that's going to help to make the shape. A hydrangea is called a mass flower because this is definitely going to be the focal point of one of the designs that we're making. And the rest is really filler. Oh, I do want to say, if you are using hydrangeas in the future, a good rule of thumb is, because they are so prone to drying out, if you have a hydrangea and it looks a little dehydrated, you can actually put the entire head of the flower into some water for just a few minutes and it will bring it back to life. So just make sure to always keep your hydrangeas hydrated.
Excellent.
I love what Christy's saying in the chat about the mugs would be perfect for pop buys.
Oh, right.
Exactly. Yeah. So I just think that those are just some of the cutest things. And I don't know, do we have any questions?
Walk us through making one?
Yes, we are.
Okay.
So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take the little plaid container that we have here. I already have a piece of Oasis in it. I went ahead and I placed it into there. And so let me find my clippers. They're right here.
Well, that's probably one of the most important tools. I'm not sure we mentioned the clippers.
Don't forget your clippers. You can also use a knife, but I prefer to use clippers, especially when working with these woodier stems. I mean, it's just incredibly difficult to get through them without the clippers. So does anybody have any questions on anything discussed before we start to go ahead?
I really appreciate the tip about rehydrating the hydrangea.
Yes, because I feel like they just dry up so quickly, and they are a more expensive flower, and so you want them to last longer, and so that's definitely a good tip. Another good tip for using evergreen arrangements is, I don't have my knife right now, but what you can do is, because of the woodier stem on a lot of these, they won't suck up water the way that traditional flowers do. So a tip that I learned in the program is to take a knife and actually carve an X into the bottom of the stem. And that X will create a hole for the water to move up and actually hydrate everything a little bit better. So with that, I think we're just going to start creating. And so if the container is this tall, we're going to go ahead and look. So it's about there. I would say this is going to be a good piece to kind of start and put in there. Don't mind me. Okay, and so when you go to design, let's say that we're just going to go ahead and put that right there. Happy little pine. Happy little pine. Now, if I were to take this out, I would recut the stem where I put it in, because the Oasis is malleable. It will actually kind of go up into that woody stem. So you want to make sure that every time you take a piece out, exactly.
I didn't know that. Okay.
Exactly. Just so it can actually breathe and get a little bit of work better. So what I'm doing right now is just taking some of the larger pine pieces, and I'm just going to start filling it in at the bottom, in the middle here, wherever we need a little bit.
so you're kind of creating the outer structure of it right now. Is that?
Yeah, it's kind of like the skeleton.
Yeah.
You can think
So
of it like
I'm
that.
guessing this one's going to be symmetrical, but I know you and I were talking earlier about you can do some that are asymmetrical or
Yes.
pyramid shape. Can you
Yes.
talk a little bit about some of the different shapes you could consider?
Definitely. So there are a variety of shapes that you can use when designing. Traditionally, you can go symmetrical or asymmetrical. We have the traditional triangle here that we're going for just on this design. However, let me think. I have a good one. So if you have a mantle and you are going to design, let's say you have a Christmas mantle here and you're thinking to yourself like, oh, I'm going to have a garland, but then I'd also like to have arrangements on each side of the mantle. When you go to create the design, what you're going to do is kind of curve them in, one on each side, to really highlight that mantle and highlight whatever is in the middle.
And kind of frame it.
Exactly.
Oh,
So like I said, one of the basics and one thing that I really like to imagine or think about when I am designing is, where is this going to go in my house? What color scheme should I use? What colors does that room have within it? You know, how big is this going to be? It's just,
yeah. And when we're doing pop buys, you're probably thinking maybe a little bit more holiday neutral, right?
Exactly,
So that it would
yeah.
be a winter display, or we hadn't even talked about doing the New Year's. You could do a New Year's and put in some
right.
noise makers or blowers or something.
Exactly,
festive, so.
exactly. And like I was saying, I was at Michael's the other day and I found the cutest pick that was a champagne bottle with 2021 on it, I think, and they're having their 50% off sale, all Christmas stuff right now. So I would definitely head down.
Good time to load up.
It is the time. And so now that we have the little base set up here, you see how it's
like
lent.
put a bow in that and make that darling as it is. That's super
It's a little Charlie Brown design we have going on right
like
here.
it.
So we have the first greenery put in there. And so what I'm going to do now is take some of the different pieces that we have here, and we're just going to go ahead and start to fill in a little bit more.
And we're looking for a different texture here.
Yeah, you know, just a different feel.
Okay, just to add some layers of interest.
Yeah,
right?
add a little bit of something. So I would say for me, developing my base and making sure that my mechanics, meaning the oasis and any of the structure that I have to make this design, is hidden by either greenery or
but this is not a step you want to skimp on, because it sets the foundation for everything.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
while I might feel rushed to get to the pretty and the fun things, this is really what makes the arrangement, right? Is having it all filled in.
Exactly. And so
well, I think that looks cute already. I like it.
Okay, so we have it a little bit filled in here. A little bit like that. Okay. And so what do you think, Lisa?
I like it. What else? What is your vision for this? Or what color scheme are you going for with this one?
You know what? Let's see. Does anybody on the chat have any?
So we could kind of go two directions, with the reds or with silvers, right? Is that what we have supplies for?
So we have the traditional reds, and then we also have traditional white.
All right. No votes yet. So you get to decide.
Okay, perfect.
Well, we have white flowers, so let's do that.
That's what I was thinking too.
Okay.
So I'm going to keep the hydrangea hydrate a little bit longer. Okay, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of these cushion mums that we have over here. I like these. I think that they have a really nice kind of form to them. I think that they're precious. And while we're talking about this, so you have flowers that are either fully opened or closed. The lilies over here that we have, the Asiatic lilies, these will open up and they will be beautiful here in a little bit. A tip, this actually works. If I were to cut off one of these bulbs, and actually we will.
Okay.
We'll cut one off. This will open when put properly into the oasis and cut, also I should have said this earlier, if you cut it at an angle, the stem, it kind of allows the water to move up the stem a little bit easier, kind of allows a passageway for it. But this lily will completely open in the oasis.
Okay, great.
So
don't panic.
So don't panic if they're a little closed, if they're opening up. It's whatever you want your design to look like. I actually like the look of a few opened, a few closed.
Well, that gives it kind of a little more longevity, right? Because you'll be waiting for the lily to open, and that will make it look different.
Exactly.
Okay. Now, I think I've heard before, like when I'm just putting flowers in a vase of water, that you don't want leaves to be below the water line. Is there anything about that to think of with the oasis, or how are you removing leaves from your stems, or what are you doing there?
That is actually a really great question. So when you go, and the reason that you shouldn't have pieces of leaves or any type of greenery in the water is because those leaves will create bacteria in that water. And so if there's bacteria in the water, it will head up the stem of the flower. Okay. And so it might actually, just checking it on both sides, so it might actually not look as great in the long run.
All right. And what about, like the other thing I know, which I do not know a whole lot, but I know that when I buy flowers, they often come with those food packets. So you're not adding that to the oasis, are you?
You can.
Oh,
you actually can. So if you take that food packet and you put it into the water that the oasis is going to go and soak into, you can actually extend the life of the flowers, because they just love that flower food.
Okay, so right now you've added those, what do you call them, button mums?
Oh yeah, cushion mums.
Cushion mums, and that was just one stalk, right? And you and you cut those off there. So look how far those spread already. That's fantastic.
Thank you. And so another thing that I'll mention here is when you are designing, you're going to want to have the more full flowers at the bottom, at the base. Like this little cushion mum that we have right here that is going to open up, that's going to go a little bit farther at the top, while the larger mums are going to go down here at the bottom. And so let's go ahead. Where do we want to put the Asiatic
I don't
lily?
know. I can't wait to see it.
Also, has anybody had problems with lilies in the past? Maybe with bruising or with certain leaves falling off if you touch them at all? They're a very, very gentle or sensitive flower.
Okay.
So I've actually had lilies in the past. How do we think? Do we like that?
Yeah, I think when that opens, that'll be gorgeous. But I love that light green color in with the darker green and the white.
I do too. Yeah, it just adds a little bit of variety while you're on that kind of monochromatic path. And so,
I guess that's probably something to talk about, color stories. You can do kind of monochromatic, or seeing those would have a whole bunch of different colors. Are there principles to think of when you're choosing colors?
I would say colors in a floral design are similar to, the colors that you want to paint your walls.
Oh, okay. Or that you want to wear.
Or that you want to wear. It's really whatever combination that you want to come up with, anything. Any color scheme. As you can tell, I like my house to be a little bit more subdued. So I'm going to go for more monochromatic, more toned back tones. But I mean, you should see some of the beautiful jewel toned arrangements that will come out, or some of the great color schemes that they have.
Okay. So at this point, would you call that done, or what else could you add to that?
I'm trying to think about what we want to put in here a little bit. So we do have some of these pine cones.
Ooh, those are cute.
That are on.
And were those from?
This I actually pulled from my upstairs closet.
Oh.
So
from your
these are
supply.
Yes. So from the personal supply. So these are.
But we have been known to forage around our office and the pine trees there.
Exactly. And so, like I said, if you have a hot glue gun and a pick, let me see.
Oh, those look cute.
Right? Is that looking a little bit woodsy? Is that looking good?
Yeah.
Okay. Can't really see from this side, so we'll go ahead and we'll just put those kind of down here. just a little bit there. Okay. So how are we feeling?
Yeah, looks good.
Good so far?
Super cute.
Okay, awesome. I'm trying to think if there's any other tips and tricks that I just know off of the top of my head when dealing with a certain type of flower.
How do you know when to say when? I think maybe my own personal experience or people I know just don't know when to stop. So
right.
What are you?
You're like, right now, stop.
You should have stopped a few ago. So when is it that you're looking at it that what are you checking off in your mind? Like this is ready now. It has color, it has texture, it has a focal point. Are those the things you're looking at, or is it just kind of a gut feel like, yeah, this looks done?
And Gail actually has a question along those
Okay.
lines about, is it good to work with odd numbers of pieces?
Oh,
we were going to mention that. So
thank you, Gail. That's a great question.
So this is actually a great question. Traditionally, the rule of thumb is not to, and I'll show you exactly why if I can unwind these. Not to use specific groups of two.
Oh, okay.
So here we have, like in this design over here that we made, I went ahead and I used 3. Let me see. We used 3 of these red picks here. The reason I didn't use 2 is because if we were to put 2 into this design here, it would look like ears.
Yeah.
In a way. And so you definitely don't want that. You want it to just be a little bit more balanced, a little bit more, less kitschy, if you say. Okay. And sometimes, I don't know why. Why do even numbers sometimes have kitschiness?
I've heard it keeps your eye, because when you use odds, it kind of forms triangles, which makes your eye move around to different spaces. Right,
and that is actually principle in the design. It's called rhythm and balance.
Actually, can't try that.
Well, I'm just thinking, I would love to put this in here.
That would look awesome in there.
I know. Should we just? I was going to cut it, but I'm thinking the floral thumb just kind of extends down, so we'll just kind of. Okay. We'll go ahead and we'll fit that in there.
What do you guys think? Give that a thumbs up if you like the horns in there.
We like that?
Yes. Okay, you got some thumbs up. Excellent.
And for me, actually, this is probably where I would go to stop. I think that this design is basically finished. We're going to have a few different flowers in there. For me, just because of the size of the container, I am only going to use one of the lilies that we currently have, but once it opens, that will be our main focal point on the design.
Okay.
And great. So what do we think so far?
Well, we do have a question.
Okay.
Yeah.
Christy is wondering, do you ever mix silk florals with real? And do you use the same kind of flower, or is this a personal design feature?
Silk flowers.
Yes.
Can you mix those with real flowers?
Yes, you actually can. So, and I have a silk flower display. This is a wreath that I made not that long ago. So these are all going to be artificial flowers on the back. This is just one of those wreaths that you get from, just one of those grapevine wreaths. So when we were doing these wreaths, we actually did a live one, a synthetic, and then a mix of the two. And like I said, especially with evergreen designs, I think that it's great to kind of mix and match. And, because fresh flowers, you really can't ever predict how they're going to look, how long they're going to last. Even the floral wholesalers, they don't exactly know what they're going to be getting. So I think that having a backup of synthetic flowers or those silk flowers can just really add an even better texture to the design as well.
All right. Excellent. Well, why don't you, if you don't mind, why don't you work on filling in one of the other ones that you've kind of gotten started? Maybe just kind of be working on that, and I'll think of some other questions, or if anybody else has any questions they want to ask. Yeah, or tips and tricks for the group, or if you know anything that has worked for you.
Exactly.
I want to remind you, if you, I'll pop my head in so I don't sound like this disembodied voice. If you have not already, please go ahead and sign in the chat and let us know that you are here, your name, and the office that you're out of. We are going to take all the participants that have joined us today, put your name in a hat, and you will be the winner of the cute plaid little pop-by arrangement. So I'm sure that will look darling in everybody's houses. So if you haven't done that, please make sure that you do that so that we can enter your name in the drawing. And if anybody has any more questions, do we have any questions, Janet, from the group? Otherwise, we're probably completed what we needed, what we wanted to cover today. And Elizabeth's just going to continue to work on this one a little bit more. Think if there are any other tips or tricks that we like to have. I would be absolutely remiss in not doing my job if I didn't say thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much to so many of you for being supporters of Crown Home Inspections and to use us for your inspection needs. We appreciate you. If you don't hear that from us enough, then shame on me. We want to make sure that you know how much we appreciate you, how much your trust and your confidence in our company means to us. We endeavor every single day to continue to earn that. We want to be your inspector of choice. We want to be your real estate partner. Elizabeth is in the office, and while now you know that she is a floral design guru, you also probably know that she handles things so well for us by answering the phone and taking care of your inspections, coordinating all the additional services that you might need. And again, I'm just going to turn this into a full-blown sales call right here and let you know, remind you that we will coordinate all additional services for you. You need termite, we're on it. How about radon? We'll set it. You want us to get the sewer people there at the same time? No problem, just ask us. So we try to make things easy for you, one-stop shop. So, and Elizabeth does a great job of coordinating that. I think at this point, we're going to make her answer the phones and make amazing pop-bys at the same time. I don't know if that's going to get you a raise, but I see no reason why we can't have you doing all of these things at the same time.
Hey, you don't know how many hats I can wear.
We'll be rotating hats around. So I don't know if there have been any other questions, anything else you want to ask us, but we're happy to do that. But we're going to continue to make some. I'll bet you see some of these floating around some of the offices around you. We have some very important clients and agents that we're going to take care of, and we're going to have a great time doing it with floral arranging. So again, please like us on Facebook. Join us there. We're doing a lot of really fun things, giveaways, contests, polls. We've got great inspection information. And please, if you see something there that's helpful to you, that you think would be helpful to your clients, share it. We're not that proprietary to it. So if there's something on there that you think your clients would like to learn, please post it on your Facebook. We are happy to help out that way. If you have things you want us to cover, we will absolutely ask our inspectors for some of their expertise, and we'll cover things. We're going to tell you about tech terms, some maintenance tips, things like that. So if you have ideas for our Facebook page, things you want us to cover. Finally, and I really will stop talking after this, we are happy to do classes specifically for you, for your team, for your office. If you have a topic you want us to talk about, there have been so many new agents that have joined agencies this time of year. So we'd love to come in and teach them about the inspection process. And we'll have John come to tell them all the technical things, and we can cover the other things like how to order an inspection, what you need to know there. So please use us as your resource. Like I said, we want to be a trusted partner to you. And one of the ways that we do that we love to do that, besides just doing the inspection, is to be your partner in helping you with training and fun pop-by classes and
Definitely
like that. So I think that's enough, right? Oh, that was probably way plenty with me anyway, but oh yeah, we're going to show you one more time some of these beautiful arrangements that Elizabeth made in advance, just so you can get more.
Don't you want to show off the one
more
that you made?
inspiration? So this is the one that I made a few weeks ago, and it looks like it's a few weeks old when we were practicing. So this is proof that anybody can do this. But we're going to hold up some of the other ones, but we want to say thank you so much. Thank you to Elizabeth. Thank you to all of you for joining us. Happy holidays. Happy end of 2020, thank God. And we're looking forward to doing a lot more business with you in 2021. Okay, so yeah, pull that one a little closer.
Yeah,
so
of course.
People can see it.
All right, and in this design, what we ended up doing, it still isn't as full as I wanted it to be, but I wanted to make sure I had enough clippings for this class here. So we have some button moms, of course. We have some of the picks here. This is a good example of cross seed. These are synthetic red berries. These are, actually we have a little bit more of that just over here. Some of the synthetic greenery, some of the sparkly greens that we got from Michael's. And
you were telling me that eucalyptus is one of your favorite fillers.
I love eucalyptus, not only because of the smell, but also it does last a long time. This is technically silver dollar eucalyptus right there.
I'll let you talk about this one.
For sure, for sure. Okay. And then this one, I actually have left an opening back here to set this hydrangea into. So that's why there's just a gigantic hole at this moment. But what we wanted to end up doing, or we ended up doing, was just a really kind of light, just very nice, very pretty,
silvery,
just silvery. So we have some bells here. I actually really like the greenery called Dusty Miller. It's going to be this gray green kind of smoother leaf. You can get these at Trader Joe's, or I've even seen them at Sam's Club. Walmart has even had them before. So I really like the tone of this greenery. I think that it's a really great addition to designs. Magnolia leaves this time of year are also a really great green to put into designs. It's going to be the leaf with the brown bottom and then kind of the gray green top on there. Another flower that I like to use in winter designs are Hypericum berries. And those are going to be the real berry stems, and they come in reds and oranges and whites and green, and Trader Joe's as well. We should be sponsored by Trader Joe's.
I know, exactly. Can we work that out? That would be awesome.
Like, honestly. So, yeah, like I said, I mean, use whatever flowers you want. Just anything.
Share our phone number and our email address, because you'd be happy to answer any questions about floral design at the office too. So if you want to share our phone number and email if people have questions for you.
Yeah, for sure. So my email is going to be liz@crownhomeinspections.com. And then our office number, Lisa.
Yeah, it's 913-653-0996. So we should probably, how well did we do on time? Ooh, we're getting close. So if there are no other questions or anything else, again, feel free to reach us at the office, reach Elizabeth at the office. I think you would actually be delighted to answer questions about floral design.
I really would.
Instead of sewer lines. So,
hey, I love talking about floral design. I love, I really love this. This has been just a great process for me. And I do want to thank Janet and John and Lisa and everybody for joining us today, and just say how grateful and thankful I am this year to be on a team that is just so amazing.
Oh, well, then we should wrap it up right at that one. So say goodbye. All right. Bye. See you later. Thank you. Thanks for joining us. Happy New Year.
Yeah.